Ranger's Apprentice. The Icebound Land. Book 3. Will and Evelyn, prisoners of the Scandian raiders, are swept northward by a brutal storm at sea. Their captors, led by the gruff but complex Erac, struggle to keep the wolf ship afloat. The ordeal bonds Will and Evelyn, who cling to each other for survival. The storm is both a literal and symbolic beginning to their journey into the unknown, stripping away their old lives and thrusting them into a world of uncertainty and danger. As the ship finally finds shelter, the two realize their fate is now tied to the whims of their captors and the harsh northern lands. Back in Araluen, Holt is consumed by guilt and frustration over Will's capture. The kingdom's priorities, however, are elsewhere, hunting the dangerous outlaw Foldar. Holt's pleas to be released from his duties are denied, leading him to drastic action. He publicly insults King Duncan, knowing it will force his own banishment. This calculated act of self-sacrifice severs his ties to home and the Ranger Corps, but it is the only way he can pursue Will's trail. Holt's banishment is both a punishment and a liberation, setting him on a path of personal redemption and relentless pursuit. The Scandian ship, battered but intact, takes refuge on the desolate island of Skorgheil. Will and Evelyn, now slaves, endure the monotony and hardship of island life among their captors. The bleakness of the landscape mirrors their despair, but also forges a quiet resilience. Erac, their captor, is revealed as more than a simple villain. He is a man of honor, torn between duty and empathy. The island becomes a crucible, testing the resolve and adaptability of both captives and captors as they wait for the storm season to pass. Holt, now an outcast, is joined by Horace, Will's loyal friend and a promising warrior. Together, they cross into foreign lands, determined to rescue Will and Evelyn. Their journey is fraught with danger, from lawless roads to corrupt knights. Holt's wisdom and Horace's growing skill form a formidable partnership. Their quest is not just a rescue mission, but a journey of growth and self-discovery for both, as they navigate the complexities of loyalty, justice, and the grey areas between. On Skorgheil, Will's relentless optimism clashes with Evelyn's resignation until she reveals her secret. She is Princess Cassandra, daughter of King Duncan. This revelation changes everything, offering hope of ransom but also new dangers, especially as the Scandian Oberjarl Ragnak has sworn a Valisvow, an oath of vengeance, against Duncan's family. The stakes are raised, and the bond between Will and Evelyn deepens, as they realize their fates are intertwined with the politics and vendettas of nations. The arrival of another Scandian crew, led by the unscrupulous Slager, heightens tensions on the island. The two crews clash, and Will and Evelyn's situation becomes more precarious. The threat of violence, both from their captors and from the harsh environment, looms large. Erac's respect for the captives grows, but his ability to protect them is limited. The island becomes a powder keg, and the captives must tread carefully to survive. Will and Evelyn attempt a daring escape using a skiff, but their plan is foiled by a simple oversight, a missing bung. Their failure results in humiliation and increased scrutiny. Erac's reaction is harsh, but not without a hint of reluctant admiration. The failed escape cements the reality of their captivity and the need for patience and cunning. It also marks a turning point in their relationship with Erac, who begins to see them as more than mere property. News arrives that Ragnak, the Scandian leader, has sworn a Valisvow against King Duncan's family, vowing to kill every last member. Evelyn's secret is now a matter of life and death. Will and Evelyn must hide her identity at all costs, and the hope of ransom evaporates. The Valisvow becomes a shadow over their every move, intensifying the urgency of escape and the need for absolute secrecy. Holt and Horace's journey takes them through the war-torn, lawless lands of Gallica, where knights extort travelers and chivalry is a mockery. Horace's prowess in combat grows as he defeats a series of corrupt knights, earning a reputation as the Oakleaf Knight. Their partnership is tested by the moral ambiguities of the road, and by the ever-present threat of the black-clad warlord Depardieu, who becomes fixated on defeating Horace and Holt. Depardieu, a ruthless warlord, confronts Horace and Holt, seeking to bolster his own reputation by defeating the famed Oakleaf Knight. Through cunning and force, he captures them and brings them to his fortress, Mont-Sombre. The castle is a place of cruelty and fear, ruled by D'Epargneux's iron hand. Holt and Horace become prisoners, forced to navigate the treacherous politics of the castle while plotting their escape. Arriving in Scandia, Will and Evelyn are separated and sold into slavery. The system is cruel and dehumanizing, with a hierarchy among slaves enforced by violence and addiction. Will's spirit is tested as he faces the worst of Scandian society, and Evelyn must find a way to help him before it's too late. Will is introduced to wormweed, a narcotic used to keep slaves docile. The drug saps his will and memory, reducing him to a shell of his former self. Evelyn, desperate to save him, enlists Iraq's help. The depiction of addiction is harrowing, showing how easily hope and identity can be stripped away. Iraq's growing sense of responsibility leads him to risk everything to help the captives escape. Iraq, torn between his duty as a Scandian leader and his respect for Will and Evelyn, decides to help them escape. He orchestrates a plan, providing supplies and a route to a remote mountain cabin. His actions are a testament to the possibility of honor and compassion even among enemies. Iraq's choice is a pivotal moment, showing the power of individual conscience against the tide of tradition and vengeance. Evelyn and a drug-addled Will flee into the mountains, pursued by the threat of recapture and the deadly cold. The journey is grueling, with Evelyn forced to care for Will as he battles withdrawal. Their survival depends on her ingenuity and determination. The mountain cabin becomes both a sanctuary and a prison as they wait out the winter and hope for Will's recovery. Holt and Horace endure captivity in Mont-Sombre, witnessing the depths of D'Epargneux's cruelty. The castle is a microcosm of tyranny, where power is maintained through fear and spectacle. Holt bides his time, waiting for the right moment to challenge the warlord. The tension between action and patience is palpable, as both captives and captor test each other's limits. Holt manipulates D'Epargneux into accepting a public challenge, exploiting the warlord's need for reputation. In a dramatic duel, Holt uses his archery skills and cunning to defeat D'Epargneux, ending his reign of terror. The victory is not just physical but moral, as Holt refuses to claim the castle, instead freeing the oppressed and burning the symbol of tyranny. The episode is a meditation on justice, power, and the true meaning of honor. In the mountain cabin, Evelyn nurses Will through the agonies of withdrawal. The process is slow and painful, but her perseverance is rewarded as Will's memory and spirit gradually return. Their reunion is bittersweet, marked by relief and the scars of their ordeal. The experience transforms both, deepening their bond and preparing them for the challenges ahead. As winter ends, Holt and Horace set out for Scandia, determined to find and rescue their friends. Will and Evelyn, now free and recovering, prepare to make their own journey south. The story closes with the promise of reunion and the enduring power of loyalty, courage, and hope in the face of overwhelming odds.